guys, welcome back to another Farm Her Friday.
I'm Becky with WE Ranch.
And I'm Emily with WE Ranch Silkies.
And today we're going to talk about the dreaded subject, mites and lice.
If you guys want to see our take on how to treat and prevent mites and lice, stay tuned.
One of the most stressful things chicken keepers have to experience is your birds getting a mites or lice infestation.
It only takes a couple mites to cause a serious problem, and if left untreated, it can be detrimental or deadly to your birds.
Mites and lice are an external parasite that feed off of your chickens. There's many different ways that they can get brought in, but one of the main ways that they're brought into your flock is by wild birds.
Mites and lice are host specific, meaning they need birds to survive. So they're not going to get on you and come infest your house or anything like that. So don't worry about that.
Making sure your birds have a well-balanced diet, a clean run, a clean chicken coop, clean nesting boxes, and a good place to dust bathe are going to be some of your key prevention practices. Another easy one is garlic. One of the many beneficial things of garlic is it's known to deter parasites and worms. So you can dice up garlic and toss it out to your birds and let them eat it. You can add whole cloves of garlic to their water.
I've even heard people put garlic powder in their dust baths.
That's actually really smart. Another important thing to remember is you're going to want to check your birds on a regular basis. Mites and lice like to hang out in areas that are warm and that are high blood flow areas. These locations are going to be around the neck, underneath their wings, at the base of their tail, and around their vent.
So we both think it's easier to check our birds at night because one, they're roosting and they're easier to work with when they're half asleep. And two, mites especially are nocturnal parasites, meaning they're going to be a lot more active at night and easier to spot.
Even if you don't see the actual bugs on your birds, check their feathers. Mites and lice like to lay their eggs on the shafts of the feathers. So these look like little egg sacs. They kind of have like little round balls and they literally look like a bug sac, like egg sacs.
And they're really hard to scrape off.
This is going to be a good key indicator that you have a mite or lice infestation. When you get new birds, make sure you include this in your guys' quarantining process. You want to make sure that you're checking these new birds so you can treat them, and you're only treating one or two birds.
Not your whole flock.
Not your whole flock. You don't want to introduce two infested birds to your entire flock because here at our ranch, we would be treating 67, 70
well,
to
my
100
husband
birds.
Thinks I have like 50, but it's more than like 70.
We'd be treating 22 birds. Chicken math is real. Hopefully your husbands aren't watching this video. No.
Willie, tune away.
No, it's a very important thing because if you have two birds and you have this quarantining process, if you treat them early, you don't even have to worry about it. Your other flock members are going to be totally fine. You take and you do the treatment on your new birds and then everybody's safe.
Now you can have the best practices in the world and still end up with problems with mites and lice. Diatomaceous earth and wood ash are both great options to add to your dust bath to help keep mites and lice under control. Now, of course, these are both optional. I know diatomaceous earth has kind of had a bad rap lately. There's a lot of misinformation out there, but I think it is important to know the facts about the products that we're using. There's actually two different kinds of diatomaceous earth. There's amorphous diatomaceous earth and there's crystalline diatomaceous earth. Amorphous diatomaceous earth is considered food grade and generally safe. It's in a lot of the products that we use every day. It's in a lot of foods. It's even in your toothpaste.
So it's important to know that it is super powdery. So of course you don't want to breathe a bunch of this in. So you're going to want to take precautions. You can wear a mask if you would like. But just know that food grade diatomaceous earth is not associated with cancer. Crystalline diatomaceous earth is associated with cancer.
Amorphous diatomaceous earth cannot be labeled as food grade if it has any more than 1% crystalline diatomaceous earth in it. So just make sure that you're buying food grade diatomaceous earth, and if you wish, wear a mask while you're using it.
It's super important. We want to make sure we're healthy. We want to make sure our birds are healthy. So just do your research and know the difference between the two.
Side note, if you're using the deep litter method in your coop, you want to limit any diatomaceous earth from getting inside, because that can kill the critters that are necessary for the composting process of that deep litter method. There's a lot of different products on the market right now to help treat mites and lice. Some of the more popular ones are ivermectin, permethrin, permectrin, but our holy grail product is called Elector PSP. Unlike the other products that I just mentioned, Elector PSP kills not only mites and lice, but their eggs. It's non-toxic. There's no egg withdrawal. And you can spray it directly on your birds and in the coop.
Elector PSP is actually a bacteria that's found in your soil that they've condensed and consolidated into this amazing little bottle, and it's known for killing certain parasites. So one important thing to remember is to try not to get it into any waterways.
The only downside to Elector PSP is its price tag. This little bottle here was $140 on valleyvet.com.
But remember, that $140 could potentially last you a lifetime with your flock because you need a tiny amount.
It's super concentrated.
It's super concentrated. So yeah, you're spending $140, but it could potentially last you a lifetime.
Like for me, if I'm treating my flock, I literally use 2.25 milliliters in 32 ounces of water. This little bottle that was $140 has 237 milliliters in it. That's essentially 105 of these bottles, making it $1.30 something per application.
Which is super cheap when you sit and think about it. It's well worth the money.
It's worth every penny. It's a one and done product. Treating with Elector PSP is super easy. Like I said before, I put 2.25 milliliters in 32 ounces of water. The label has different dosages for different situations, so make sure and read that. And you just put it into a spray bottle like this one here.
And then add water, and you kind of give it a little swirl. You don't want to shake it up too much, but you give it a little swirl, and that's what you use to apply on your birds. I personally like to drench my birds. I grab my bird, and I like to spray in those key areas where the mites and lice like to hang out. Again, those are around their neck, under their wings, at the base of their tail, and around their vent. Don't feel like you can ever use too much of it on your bird. It will never hurt your bird. You could literally dump them in a bucket of it and it wouldn't hurt them. So spray your birds as liberally as you want and make sure it gets all the way to the base of the skin because that's where it's going to need to work. So I like to make sure I'm wearing gloves and then I kind of massage it into my birds. So if I'm holding them and I'm just doing under their wing, I'll spray them under the wing and then I kind of massage it in. So make sure you're getting all the way to the base of their skin to make sure the product is being effective.
And remember, when you do this, you're going to get your birds wet. So you don't want to do it on a chilly afternoon or evening right before they go to bed. Make sure that you do it, in the morning on a nice sunny day to give them time to dry off before they go to sleep at night. If you do end up finding mites or lice on your birds, make sure that you're treating not just the flock, but also the coop. So you're going to want to make sure you give it a good deep clean and liberally spray Elector PSP through all those cracks in the nesting boxes, on the roosting bars, because mites especially can live in the woods.
So after all that, just remember, don't think you're a bad chicken keeper if your birds get mites or lice. This is something that every chicken keeper will experience at some point in their life.
Every chicken keeper. So if you guys would like to see more videos like this one, make sure and hit the like and subscribe button. Find us on Facebook and Instagram. Again, I'm Emily with WE Ranch Silkies.
I'm Becky with Crooked Arrow Ranch.
And until next time,
Happy Farmer Friday.